First of all, thank you so much for taking out time to watch this video. Today we are going to discuss one of the very important uh, annotations. These are qualifier and the primary annotation. So we'll discuss in detail with an example as we go forward. So when this qualifier and primary annotation will come into play, when there are multiple beans that SpringBoot has to decide which bean should be selected. So the problem statement for us would be if there are multiple bits of the same type, then we would get no unique bean definition. So that is something we want to avoid. And to avoid that, we have these two. We will try to understand what is the difference between them and how they can be utilized. So I'll directly jump to the example and then we'll come back to the PPT. So I've already created the example. Okay. So this is my interface notification service. So it has only one default, one method, abstract method, send notification. Now this notification service has two implementation. One is the email. So this is one service class, and it has been the main name is email service, and it implements notification service. Here we have kept it very simple. It will return email sent and whatever message you will receive. And similarly, for SMS notification service, we have the bean name as SMS service. Now I have commented these, but I will come there. So what email services? It is annotated as primary, and SMS it's been nothing. Okay. So now we'll go to the controller class. Okay. In the controller class, we have two APIs, get APIs. So one is calling the default notification service. Okay. And then one is the SMS. Now this default notification service and SMS. So they are being initialized using constructor injection. Here you can see the default notification service. I have not provided any qualifier. So when I'm not providing qualifier, then whatever is the default. And how do we get the default? Using this add primary annotation. If you look at this email notification service, the default is because of this primary annotation. So when we make any uh, service class or any service class as primary, so it will become a default way. Okay, and the other one, SMS notification service. Now this is a qualified service class. Now here I am providing the name of the bean. So that is why we use this annotation add qualifier. Hopefully this is clear and this is easier. So now in the default notification API service, when I do call the send notification service, now this is using the primary bean. The primary bean is email. So our email notification service message should be called, method should be called. And in the SMS, because we have used the qualifier, so here it should call the SMS notification service. We'll just check the output. Okay, the application is up. Let's try. So first let me check with the default. So default, we get email sent and hello user. If you look at the email notification service, this method is called email sent and whatever message that we sent, hello user. Why it has been called? Because it's a default one, and notification service. When I use this API, this default notification service, there was no qualifier used. So Spring Boot identified, okay, the default bean is email. So that is why it's called the email notification service method. And similarly, we'll check for the SMS. And here you can see we'll call the SMS notification service method. That is why we are getting SMS sent hello user. So hopefully this clears your doubt. Now suppose um, what I'll do is I'll make two beans as primary. So what will happen? Okay, let's see what does Spring does. See, it gives an error. Now it gives an error. So it is saying error creating bean. Okay, unsatisfied dependency. No qualifying bean of time and no notification service. More than one primary. So here you can see the exact reason. More than one primary bean found because you annotated two beans as primary. So you should avoid that. And the other one is say suppose I don't make any bean as default, that is primary. What will happen when it comes here and for the default notification service, you will see that uh, there will be some issue. Let's see what is that issue. See, it failure and it gave parameter 0 constructor notification controller required a single bean, but two were found. Okay, the email service and SMS service. So for the default notification, first parameter, because we don't have any default bean now, I have removed this id primary. So that is why we got this bean, no unique bean definition. Two beans were found. I can correct this by just making this as primary. So if I do that, application would run fine. Okay. Now take one more example. Now this email notification is by default, it's a default bean because we have set it as primary. But can I override it? So let's see. Now what I'm doing is I'm applying this at qualifier. Okay. So now both these methods should return me SMS. So basically it should call the method of SMS notification service. Let's see what happens here. So application is running. First I'll call the SMS. Okay. So it is giving me SMS. Even for default, now it is giving me SMS sent. SMS sent hello user. So that means the bean this selected was SMS notification service. Hopefully this is clear and this will help you in your interviews, in your day-to-day work. It's a very simple concept. We just whatever we have done, we've just discussed it through the code. Now interview questions. So does qualifier override primary? We have checked that. Yeah, it does. Can multiple beans you mark primary? We shouldn't do that. We got an error. What happens without either annotation? So suppose we are not marking any bean as primary or we are not using the qualifier. Then in that case, we will get no unique bean definition found. There are two bean definition. Okay. So thank you so much. That's it. Thank you so much. Have a good day.